I'll just introduce myself to the listeners. My name is Divesh Motilal. I'm an engineer by training, but I'm a graduate of the Cometsa Digital Online Streaming Mastery program, which we developed during COVID, and we've been growing from strength to strength. I'm a resident DJ as well on Cometsa. uh, One of the programs that we work with in terms of helping develop communities as well as support to students is the Val University of Technology's student support program, which we have once a month. And for those who are listening now, we will have our July show tomorrow evening here on the Kometsa radio platform, and of course in our various um, platforms where we do share our podcasts as well. Evening, Margot. How are you?
I'm okay. And how are you, Divesh?
I am okay, growing from strength to strength and learning with the new experiences that life gives us.
Oh, indeed. We are very much fortunate to have a person of your caliber and
Thank you very much.
other colleagues because indeed we are great. We are getting stronger and stronger by each and every engagement we have every Tuesday.
Yes, Brasem has just stepped out for a few minutes. He will be joining us, and then we can get going with our usual Tuesday evening show. Um, just as a recap as well for our listeners, uh, we share each of the modules within the digital online streaming program which Cometsa has offered in the past. I'm one of the graduates, but we sharing our knowledge with some of our other trainers so that we can encapsulate each of the modules in a better way, and of course share that skills, knowledge, do's and don'ts of digital online streaming with our listeners. And of course, if we have interest in actually doing the formal course, where you do not only learn the do's and don'ts of the digital online streaming mastery program, but also you get an opportunity to also host or co-host your own shows and get on hands experience, get to also practice those skills that you learn. And of course, as we reiterate in our shows every week, throughout the modules that we deal with, you can only get better if you keep practicing. Would you like to add anything to what I've been saying, Margot?
It looks like you lost the Marco, Divesh.
Yeah, he did greet,
No,
and
I,
then
I
now I think
am
he's
here.
back.
I am here. I'm sorry. Yeah, Divesh, I think what you are saying is indeed correct. Through our online digital mastery, we have developed some modules that we are sharing every Tuesday, and this indeed makes us to expand on the work that we are doing every Tuesday.
Thank you so much, Marco. It's wonderful to see you online. Let's check in, or let me first officially open the show. We have a couple of listeners tuned in. Colleagues, this is, as Divesh has said, this is our Tuesday digital online streaming mastery show. We are at unit number 24 of the 40 units, conduct number 19 of the 35 conducts. The conducts are nothing else but the do's and don'ts of digital online streaming. You might be streaming audio or streaming video. The famous video streaming platforms, you have Netflix, you have YouTube, you have, I think Google has its own as well. quite a number of such, but we are more focused on the online radio, audio streaming, you call it, but the do's and don'ts are all the same. This is Comesa Radio Worldwide, the mind, the journey, the destiny. We apply our mind to the journey that takes us to our destiny. Our shows are based on the principle we call the idea. We inform and entertain, develop and educate, empower and support, associate and network. That's the idea. This is the trainer show. All of us here have graduated from the digital online streaming mastery show that we or course or program that we ran during the COVID time, 2020, 2021. We are embarking now on equipping ourselves to be able to capacitate those who want to come into this industry. This is a very big industry. It runs in billions of dollars. Almost everybody is streaming, be either TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, all the social media platforms. Today we're talking about how do you make your streaming show go viral. Basically, it's nothing else but internet marketing. This is really indeed very, very powerful and applicable to all the sectors. Today we don't talk of marketing, but we talk about digital marketing. Marketing alone with our digital platforms today is not really going to take you much far. Having said that, let me once again officially welcome my co-host, Divesh Mutilal. He has already introduced himself. Marco Franz Ramutla, welcome on board. We're expecting Rabula to join us. We're expecting Emmanuel. We're expecting Umpile and many others, Sylvia, Tendani. We are a team. We are a family and a community, and we're growing every time. If you want to be part of the Comesa broadly, go to comesa member.com and you can join and become a member of this organization. There are about 14 different types of membership that you can join. Marco, let me give you the opportunity to greet the listeners, and you might as well check in, and I will check in as well, because I think I have a wonderful things to check in with, and Divesh as well. Over to you, Marco.
Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, listeners. Yes, every evening we check in, and my check-in today is just to share with listeners that in the past 2 days, I have been maintaining tools of trade in one of the businesses that I'm running. And of course, one thing that I'm using digitally now, instead of me giving my workers cash and maybe disturb them from their operations, now we are using, I am transferring money to them online. They just indicate to me what is the problem of the car, and then I send them the money on e-wallet. So yeah, it is one of the medium we are using to transfer money and to ensure that there is efficiency. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a great show this evening. Thank you, Bras.
Wow, that's beautiful, Marco, to hear that you are applying technology to solve your business needs. And I'm glad that the guys who man your vehicles are receptive to that. That's progress indeed.
Thank you very much. They are very much receptive, and it makes us to be very efficient. Instead of them driving back to my workshop, they liaise with the mechanics there and they diagnose. After they've diagnosed, they inform me, and then I send them money through e-wallet. They buy the parts and they buy the mechanic. They pay the mechanics. This is very good for our company.
Wow, beautiful indeed. Thank you so much, Marco. Colleagues, I've sent you the guidelines for our conversation. If you check in your inbox, the beauty of technology, again, while you are busy speaking, I've just released the guidelines for this conversation. Divesh and Marco, you can check it there so that we can be aligned in our conversations. Yeah, let me check in. I had great day yesterday and today. I just came back from the what we call a networking event titled Christmas in July at the South African German Chamber of Commerce. We had about 130 different companies representatives coming to attend the event, networking, exchanging some ideas. It was beautiful. I met some interesting leads there that I will follow up on. So indeed, networking is still a much relevant practice in business, not only for your business and for your company, but also for yourself. Meeting other fellow practitioners, other fellow professionals. So it was beautiful indeed. Nice chat and reaching out to some of the colleagues in the chamber. I'm sitting on the chamber, SA German Chamber of Commerce Advisory Council, and it's good to see our organization and fellow colleagues there. Yeah, so that was my day. And of course, yesterday, Divesh and I and Rabula, we connected with our colleagues at Jet Civils. I see Marcia is here, Diso is here. I've asked them to join just to check if they are able to connect on this platform. And I'm glad they could connect and they're listening to us. So tomorrow they will be the guests in the studio. We're looking forward. This will be our monthly VUT, Student Academic Development Support and Work Integrated Learning, a show. And tomorrow's show is dedicated to Jet Civils, which is one of the partners from the industry of the Valley University of Technology. And we are going to be honoring their leader, Walter Giver, who's also an alumnus of the Valley University of Technology and a committed industry leader that continues getting students from VUT and training them and helping them grow in the industry. So you don't miss that show tomorrow, starting at 1800 hours into 2000 hours. And my colleagues Divesh, Rabula, and Sylvia Mamrare will be anchoring that show, and I will be moderating. So looking forward indeed. That is my checking in. Let me welcome Rabula. Welcome Rabula, all the way from Mariveng, local municipality in Bujanala district, Brets, Northwest Province. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you, Sam. I hope, because I'm on the road, I will be able to be audible and I'll be able to hear you guys. Today, I used to say I had a funny day, but it's one of those days. I haven't opened my laptop the whole day for first time after a long time. I'm not sure what is inside the laptop, and I'm still heading home. So hopefully, I'll be able to hear and be able to contribute to the show while on the road. Thank you. That's all I can say.
Just make sure one of your equipment needs to be switched off. You've got two equipments connected and it's giving us echo. So you probably have two full cell phones on.
No. The Bluetooth is off unless I switch off the radio. I don't know if it was on silent.
It's probably the radio.
Yeah.
But settle down and join us.
No, the is off. I don't use Bluetooth on the car because I've experienced different dimension of the Bluetooth.
Whatever it is, Internet of Things.
I see getting an echo because the radio is off.
Yeah, it could be one of my colleagues, but anyway, fine. Thank you so much. Okay. We'll welcome you back. Drive safe and then join us soon. Welcome, Maynard. We're glad to see you here. I hope you're able to greet the listeners and check in and tell us what has been happening in your space.
Good evening, Darius. Good evening, colleagues and our listeners. My day, it's been another day. I didn't have water the whole day. So it's been very hectic for me to an extent that even at the crèche for my daughter, they sent them back home. So I was babysitting the whole day. So yeah, it's been a nightmare for me.
So you're water shedding?
Yeah, we are water shedding. So yeah, it's quite bad. Rand Water is busy with some maintenance somewhere in Marbleton. Apparently, Marbleton, Alberton side is our feed. So yeah, hence we are affected.
Yeah, you must get used to have a tank of water at home in case.
Yeah, no, I've learned the hard way. Seriously. So yeah, but it's one of those things. Luckily, I do have the 20 liters, so I've got about 4 of them. So I managed to go to my boys' soccer field because it's on the other side. So I went that side to refill those 20 liters and came back. So at least they are just to make sure that the basics can.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Welcome, Umpile. I know Umpile is on the public platform all the way from Paris. He's not able to join us on the co-host side, but he says to me that he's listening to the show on the public platform. Umpile, don't miss the show tomorrow. It's our monthly show, VUT, Student Academic Development Support and Work Integrated Learning, and we'll have Jet Civils as our guest. Thank you so much for letting us know. Yeah, Divesh, over to you. I know you did greet the listeners, but you want to check in?
Yes, Divesh Motilal once again to the listeners and to the colleagues. Good evening. I share the frustration that Maynard had. We didn't have water from Saturday evening. It just came back today. So there's major repairs being done, but I'm a bit worried that our infrastructure in most areas is at such a state that it's going to be very difficult to actually fix all of this. So looking forward to solutions that we can put into the space, but also at the same time a bit concerned because the problem is becoming very big. Looking forward as well to tonight's show. Thank you.
Beautiful. Marco says he hasn't received my notes. I'm just double checking to see maybe they haven't gone out. Sorry about that, Marco. I'm double checking. I don't know why. Divesh, have you received my notes?
I have received it. Thanks, sir.
Do you have Marco's email address? No.
Let me.
Okay, don't worry. I will resend it to him so that he has the notes. Marco, I'm resending them to you. I don't know. I can see you are not on the list. I thought I remembered having your name, but okay, I'm sending them to you. I must have sent them to your old email address because your old email address at your previous employer keep on popping up. So sorry about that. Yeah, colleagues, as I've indicated, we are talking unit number 24, contact number 19, how to make your streaming show go viral. This is about learning the fundamentals of internet marketing to increase your show's reach. And we'd like to delve into topics like SWOT analysis of your marketing practice, real-time marketing, marketing research, brand management, social media, search engine optimization basics, SEO, capturing the leads, website characteristics, and campaign characteristics. It is very important to note that we are promoting the digital online streaming show or any other show as a consumable product. And we are saying that for you to make it go viral, you've got to be able to use the internet marketing. This is the in thing. And by the way, we're talking to people who are interested in the business of streaming. So as trainers, those are the kind of people that will be keen to know how to better position themselves as streamers and promote their shows. And in this case, using the internet marketing platforms and making the show go viral. We're going to talk about almost what you need to do to achieve that. And most of us, we tend to think that it's enough just to announce the show, but they are, or the products, they are quite a number of things if you want to go really progressive on the internet marketing. So that's really the focus of our discussion this evening. As always, before delving into the nitty-gritties of this topic, it's always good to reflect on it in advance because most of us are familiar with these platforms. Anyone who is very fanatical about internet marketing, who wants to give us their own perspective, please go ahead. Otherwise, I will delve into the topics as listed. Who
Yes,
feels
Sam,
comfortable? Yes, Divesh.
thank you, Sam. Just wanting to share with our listeners, as we've outlined in other shows, uh, they should also look at these do's and don'ts, these skills, these areas of focus that we highlight, to see, even if they're not in the space of online marketing or digital streaming for that matter, they could use these skills that we're going to share with them. I think even in their own lives, if it is a graduate who's looking for an opportunity work wise, if it's a upstart business, if it's someone who's having products which they want to share with the rest of the customers, or even if you want to find new markets, you will find that a lot of these do's and don'ts that we can share tonight, they can also be applicable in other areas of their life. Thank you, Sam.
Mm. Absolutely. And I think we have consistently reminded the listeners around this. Although we're dedicating our shows to digital online streaming mastery, but we are saying that the number of content that we are sharing is very much applicable to our professional practices. So one should not be conditioned into think that the knowledge that we are sharing is limited to the space we are in. Is basically applicable across the board, and thanks for touching on that one, Divesh. Maynard, you are a marketing guru. I don't know how much is Maisela branding using internet marketing, but I'm sure you have perspective there.
Yes, Nelson. The internet marketing, we are actually trying to be visible there on the internet space. We are there on most social platforms, but even though I haven't done much of the live streaming per se, but we are there on the TikTok sites, we are there on the LinkedIn, we are there on Facebook. So yes, we are pushing boundaries there on the internet marketing, definitely, because unfortunately that's the only platform that we can utilize to market or to make yourself exposed to clients, because it's one of the free tools for marketing. Because you will remember that the traditional marketing tools are very expensive if you were to look into the traditional way. So the internet way is the only cheapest way, and you can reach as much as you like, as long as you are very radical on the internet. You will push boundaries and you will reach more audience.
I have a desire, Maynard, to be aggressive about this, because almost every potential client has migrated to internet because they don't have option, and I do believe that, yes, we're not even halfway to doing what is expected of us, and we're doing this favor to our business. As they say here in the first points I'm sharing, they say that the internet has forever changed the way the people shop and conduct business. I still come across a lot of skeptics simply because of the cybersecurity threat. And I'm saying that if you're being hacked and you're being attacked by these cybersecurity hackers, it's probably because you don't know how to protect yourself on internet. It's almost like you are in an industry, in a market, you don't learn the details of how to protect yourself, and then you then gravitate towards saying, I'm not going to do any activity on internet shopping or transactional, because the risk is very high. Meanwhile, the risks is maximized by you not learning how to navigate yourself. So even experienced marketing professionals need help in navigating the pitfalls of internet marketing. Integrating your marketing techniques with modern technology is essential for every business. We with the appropriate skills, both companies and individuals, will be able to create successful internet marketing techniques. So I think we need to be intentional about this. And for instance, your shows, especially when you do streaming, if you really want to maximize the reach, you've got to be in the internet marketing space. So it's not an excuse to say that you are scared of cybersecurity hackers, and just leave it there. Sooner or later, the situation will catch up with you. Is that challenging enough?
No, it is. When coming to cybersecurity, indeed, like the internet marketing is a risky space when coming to that space. But as you said, like we cannot shy away to the changing of technology, thinking of the scammers and all those things. Because even in the traditional way, people will still try to scam you because like people will still send you the fake POPs and all those things, and you by that time maybe you have to ship out the order or something, then somebody send you a fake proof of payments. So you won't shy away because of the risk, because the risk will be always there on both sides. So we just need to maximize it, learn it, all the techniques, and make sure that we utilize it to the full potential. Unfortunately, like if you were to do commercial on internet, I think that's something that you need to make sure that you at least intensify that cybersecurity on your side, just to be on the safe side. Like for example, I was thinking to convert my own website into a e-commerce, but I thought of a lot of things as well, the risk and all those things. But it's something that I'm still working on it. Hopefully, maybe I will win on that, because I'm trying to take the business as much as I can on an internet fully. So it's something that I'm still working on it, just to see how will the e-commerce work on the business side. But yes, like the risk is always there, but it's something that we can always work around all the time.
The future possibilities and opportunities immense. As a company, you have no option. As an individual, you can choose to be behind. But as a company, you might not have a choice, because your clients might say that, listen, if you're not digital or online, then unfortunately we can't do business with you. And as you have seen now, we have launched the World Commercial Friends and Supporters Club NPO, the commercialmember.com. You have seen that portal. We've had to go that route, because otherwise you're just going to be out of business.
That is true, because
Divesh,
most of the
any
clients
comment
that
from
have
your side? Sorry, Mainat. I just want Divesh to reflect on this from his AI perspective.
Yes, Sam, I do agree with you. I do also agree with some of Maynard's points. It's very important as well. I mean, even from last week's show, when we spoke of some of these online platforms where you can actually put out your content, we can also use the similar platforms to actually do our marketing of the shows as well. And it's important that, when we going into that space of internet marketing, we start looking at the analysis of the options, looking at your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, as well as what threats. And we're speaking of some of the threats now. But I do agree with Maynard. There's risks to everything. And usually, the bigger the risk, the more opportunities there are for you to actually, have successes as well. It's an issue of preference, but of course, um, with the internet again, you can have a lot of research done by yourself, or you could hire, if you have those resources available, people to actually make the best decisions for you, as well as to get the security that's needed for the avenue that you decide to take. Indeed, as well with AI, artificial intelligence, the aspect of marketing has opened up a whole new frontier that even the traditional people that came up with content campaigns for your marketing, video clips, imagery, posters, and the like, even jingles, the AI now can actually create these things for you just from you giving it a textual description of what you were actually looking for. So it's very interesting times, and I agree with you, Sam. We have to be in touch with these changes, otherwise we get left behind.
Yeah. At the same time, we have to be as a governance issues and compliance issue. If you are a leader of a business and you go into these spaces and you don't provide risk mitigating steps, then you're failing as a business leader, because risk management is key to the strategy of a business, especially when you're using technology. Yeah, so what we then want to achieve with this conversation, we want you to know how to conduct your market research, simple market research, not necessarily comprehensive one. Develop a workable internet marketing campaign, recognize your target market, and understand how they've shifted so that you follow them. And then, of course, the power of your brand in the internet marketing space. You can't participate in internet marketing if your branding is not conducive to that environment. For instance, if your website is not mobile platform adaptable, today when you do a website, they will tell you that you have to have a version for the desktop and a version for mobile, because many people are going to choose how they access your brand and your website. Understanding, of course, how the search engine optimization works. Google is big on that, and your website designer will help you to do that, even give you your, I don't know what they call it, device, your Google Analytics code, which you insert in your website. And every time you post to your website, that then maximizes your searchability within the platform. And of course, the characteristics of websites, there's certain standard characteristics you must have. And then, of course, how to find and capture your leads. In this case, is if you're running your own show and you want it to go viral, and your show is a brand on its own, it's got its own website, or is a subset of a website, those become very critical. Devesh, you've already touched on the first topic, which is SWOT analysis. To respond to the fears that Maynard have touched on, you have to do your SWOT analysis. I know this is a standard a topic, everybody knows what SWOT analysis is, but in this context, it has to be done along the lines of internet marketing platforms, cybersecurity, opportunities of internet marketing, and all those type of things. If you can't do it yourself, your technology advisors will be able to do that. But we're going to look at it in a simplified way, because some of these things can be self-help kind of approaches you can do. Rapula, you have gone quite aggressively on social media these days. What has been your experience as you post almost on a daily basis on LinkedIn, which I regard it as a business development and marketing?
I think, Sam, when you start, you don't see the impact of it. But as you keep on posting and sending the message, you realize the impact of specifically on LinkedIn. That's when I've picked up a lot of impact from the LinkedIn side of it, in terms of it's more like I was educating my customers what is my business. In that education, I start getting a lot of customers' leads. Why don't think about this? What do you think about this? Instead of using words, yes, feedback, and that feedback helps a lot. And it does make sure that you get in touch with your customer base, and it does help you a lot in terms of saying what you want to achieve as an institution. That has helped a lot, and especially, as I'm saying, especially on my side, especially from LinkedIn, because it looks like that's where my customers base was or is. Facebook, yes, very limited, but I could pick up in terms of reading around that, the interest around that, especially from my peers in the industry. But LinkedIn is where I get some few leads around that.
Yeah,
thank you.
Beautiful. And then Rapula, while you are still online, just applying the SWOT analysis, simple basic principles of SWOT analysis. Just to refresh here, when we talk about the strengths and weaknesses, we're looking into internal to our organizations, and then we talk about opportunities and threats. We look at the external to your environment. If we take Retalefile, for instance, or we take you as a host of a show, what will you say are common strengths and weaknesses currently at where you are, without going into comprehensive presentation of your organization?
So I keep on cutting a little bit, but what I was saying, what I've picked up recently, especially in terms of doing a review on a feedback from a customer base, was to say the strength depends on the drivers of the institution. That's where critically comes in, because it's more like internal post. How do you position it to make sure that you drive your opportunities around that? And the weaknesses in many instances, especially I'm going to call it a generic approach, is as a small entrepreneurs, because you tend to end up being a single man, I use it, one-man show. You tend to lose or get a slippery of key critical business, which opportunities are supposed to be leading your way because of that dynamics. So what you need to do is to, what do you call it, a diversification, that space of saying, how do I utilize the resources from the systems to make sure that I follow up on the leads and I follow up on the work done to make sure that I convert the leads into a transaction.
Yeah.
And the threats
That's a
in
very
most
common.
instances,
Yeah.
the threats in many instances is the stability of your system. Make sure that when you go online, stabilize your system. Make sure that your system supplier, is very stable and also can sort of address the issues of the cybersecurity. If you don't try to go that route.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't mention this last week, to say that in many cases you are vulnerable because you did not master the settings. And all these platforms got settings where you can decide whether your email is visible or whether people can share on your platform, or they have to be approved by you. So I think if you haven't done that, so the level of threats is very high. And then the opportunities is if you are active on the platform, you will be able to pick up opportunity, because people volunteer quite a lot of what is available out there. So I think we will all agree there's huge opportunities. I mean, the whole streaming market is huge, is big, and actually is not even, you're not even competing with anybody, because, for instance, if we take this course, I think you will battle to find a number of people offering digital mastery digital online streaming mastery in the format that we do. You might find others, Divesh, if you would like to come in there.
But Sam, just to interact on the scenario. The other thing on opportunities is you're not locally based. When you go in the system, you will be shocked inquiries coming from anywhere in the world because of that process. I think I had about 4 or 5 inquiries outside South Africa. It's basically what I'm delivering in terms of what I offer on the table. So there's a lot of opportunities, and the more you active on the platform, the more you become visible.
Indeed. Now the question is, in terms of strengths, do you have mechanism inside your organization to actually capitalize on those approaches and channel those approaches into your marketing funnel to a point where you can convert? Or when it comes to a point of converting, do you really have solutions that they are looking for?
Interestingly, currently I'm reviewing my CRM systems, and the person who's doing it for me is my daughter. Although she's not based here, she's based in Canada. We had a 2-hour session last night in terms of where do we change, what didn't change. And she was even saying to me, "Daddy, I never thought of this. I never thought of this." I said, "Yes." The simple reason around it is I'm now looking at it differently, of saying on my database, let me start the following thing. I put on my database to say all the companies, their financial year end is on, each one of them has been captured. 60 days before Pride Day, I send them the message across to them. And then when the message comes back, the guy says to me, "Please help me to renew my financial statement." Or for me, it's a lead. And I need to sort of upfront create what I call a pro forma invoice. It's more like a request for is a quotation where when the person says, "Once I accept the debt, then I credit from that quotation into an invoice. Once I complete the job, then the invoice automatically thrown to the customer's invoice." So in a nutshell, what you're doing, that's how your system will generate that for you well in advance. utilize this thing to help you out to make sure that all these little things get off the ground very quick and very fast.
Indeed, indeed. In terms of capitalizing on the opportunities, have you ever thought of partnering with other people who are anywhere in the world, even way closer to where the customer is, and have them as your associates delivering on your behalf? Because that is possible because of boundaryless type of.
It is possible. Is one of those things what you do in terms of, especially I'm going to say, especially again on LinkedIn. I'm currently creating an associate in Australia, specifically in terms of how do you collaborate in terms of our offering.
Beautiful.
And there's another one in I think she is based in Austria.
I mean, just look at it now. Our friend Umphile Leebile is in Paris. He is communicating with us. He just dropped us a note here to say, digital marketing is the future. I look forward in learning more about our discussion today. Few businesses can survive without digital marketing in future because everyone is online or in the digital economy. Divesh, there's a point coming from Umphile there.
Thank you, Sam. Just in relation what we were speaking about, one of the strengths mentioned, wide reach, internet marketing allows a global audience, like Rapula also mentioned. So it's allowing you to target customers beyond your traditional geographical boundary. But in the same sense, if I can even say, jumping into weaknesses, the same benefit that you can see as a strength can also become a weakness because, like Umphile has mentioned, the digital marketing space is very crowded. So it makes it challenging for businesses to really stand out. As much as it's an opportunity, it's also a weakness that we could find. And as well, it's an opportunity once again. Emerging markets elsewhere in the world needing your services, you can actually reach those without actually spending lots of time in the traditional sense where you would need to travel over and spend time in that location. You can now actually do it through online senses. And if we really hone back into the digital online marketing platform and content that we are talking about, we can really use internet marketing. And I'd like to disseminate the two different streams that we are targeting here tonight. Is when we say internet marketing, we're traditionally talking about websites and the like. A bit more static, it could become a interactive if we start to make it a e-commerce type platform, which Maynard also referred to. But for purposes of the type of show content we want to market, I think we'd lean more towards a social media type of platform, like LinkedIn that was mentioned, Facebook, etc. Sam,
which is basically social marketing. Social
Yes.
media marketing. Thanks for
Yes.
clarifying that. If you go into the entire suite of digital marketing courses or programs, you will find that there's a distinct focus on social media marketing, which is basically what most of us are talking about. And then, yes, as Divesh is saying, when you've got more comprehensive, where you build the e-commerce platform where you can even transact, that becomes really the e-commerce suite, which is what Maynard is talking about. And I think that is when you have grown the base and you are really in demand, and there's a big traffic to your platform, your website, then going e-commerce is the only way in terms of even embedding the payment gateways that people could literally swipe and transact on your platform, and all what you see is a receipt coming saying so and so has bought the product, and here is the receipt and the proof of payment. But that is exactly the future that Umphile is talking about, and we must all aspire to get to that point. But first thing first, let's master the basics. I guess that's what you are cautioning us, Divesh, that let's not jump the gun.
Yes, indeed. And also, a point to keep in the back of our mind is, as we're doing the SWOT analysis of the options and how to take our message into the internet marketing space, we must also remember that we use these different platforms cross in nature, in that we could have more content on one platform, but it doesn't stop us from linking. Like, for example, a website, you still need to market your website to get people to come and
Mm,
click and see what you have to offer on your
mm,
website. You'd use
mm,
the other kinds of social media, for example, to advertise through a digital means your website as well. And
mm,
likewise, on your website, you could actually have links to your social media pages, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever the case may be. So you must always keep in mind that it's not just we only stick to one avenue. We look at all the
mm.
options and choose a couple of them to be most effective.
Yeah, we have to be integral in our approach. And it almost sounds very overwhelming, but with practice, you realize that actually the integration is very easy. Exactly the point you are raising, Divesh. On your website, you need to have social media accounts connected and those sharing icons so that people who like what they see and they know somebody that needs your product, they can just share that to them, right? And once the platforms are in place, then the idea of actually sourcing information is possible. In terms of primary information of research, going to the next point is do surveys. Very simple surveys. What do they call this? The product of Google, where you can build questions very quickly and send to people and get the survey results.
Mm,
People like it very much. It's
Google Form.
there's a name for Google Forms, or there's another thing, Monkey something. You can have 5 questions and build a report, post it on your social media, and you get the results. Some people also go. Sometimes they like saying, "Who do you think will win between Manchester United and Arsenal?" And then people play on that, and then after an hour, you share the statistics. It's all about playing and getting used to these things. And I must be honest with you, I don't claim to be good in these tools, but the tools are there. And what we are doing with this show is to encourage ourselves to start playing. Because sometimes we say kids are very good at these things. We are lying. The reality is that the kids are sitting on this the whole day until they master it. So if we adopt internet marketing, we have to play first on the platform to understand how they work. You can do focus groups as well, where you're meeting and exchange things, and then three groups, focus groups to give you feedback. You can do personal interviews if you have Rapula was saying, because somebody in Austria, invite them for 15 minutes conversation, ask them few questions, and also you can do just observe by being on a social media platform as you post your show. I mean, I don't know how you do it, Divesh. I see you every time I post something within under an hour. I see you reacting on it. You probably get pushed notifications. Am I right?
Y-
So you're observant without necessarily being active every minute.
Yes, you do have push notifications, so that I could react and share as well to
Yeah.
to try and get it to be as widespread as possible, almost viral.
Mm. So you choose particular interest accounts, then you follow them and you enable them to push notifications onto your phone, and when it comes in, you look in quickly and then you act. So it doesn't look overwhelming as maybe many people might think.
And also on AI, once you post something, AI can also assist you in detecting interest groups along the topic you're talking about, and automatically ask you, are you willing to post on their groups? Sometimes that's how you increase your audience on internet market.
Which is the advanced stage of the algorithm.
Yeah.
Device educate us there. How have they integrated the algorithm with the AI to a point where you no longer have to? It's no longer just observing your movement, but it's almost like sourcing you. I don't know what they use there to get to a point where they almost find you without you when having decided that they find you.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that again. When we talk of weakness, that could be seen as one of the weaknesses. because there's so much competition amongst the platforms. They're constantly changing these algorithms, and because they're global platforms, you find as well the algorithms sometimes violate certain countries' codes and policies, where they start taking your information and sharing it, your personal information. And it's very critical again when we start developing content, that the content still must be in line with the markets, the various global markets, how they see things, their belief structures, their ways of thinking, etc. In terms of the AI, yes, it's evolving, but sometimes you shouldn't become too reliant on the AIs to keep a level of control over what content goes out, what content you select to follow, so that you maintain and control where your messaging is going and how your messaging is relaying. I've also seen the AI can also react to a post automatically on your behalf, but
Mm.
sometimes as well that could be incorrect. So it's always important to just keep an
Yeah,
eye
absolutely.
what the AI is doing.
It doesn't know the truth and the non-truth.
Indeed, Sam.
Yeah. Another phenomenon that is really exciting, which is actually what we are only talking about, is it's almost like it's a real time engagement. This is becoming very dynamic in the sense that in the past you put an advert and then the advert is there, people keep on seeing it. But now any advert or any promotion that is stagnant is still not going to help you. And then they talk about real-time marketing, where they say that successful marketing goes beyond traditional research. I mean, we're talking marketing, but really in a simplified form, it's just notifications. It requires real-time tools like social media, customer rewards, news media, and blogs allow companies to monitor the changing needs and interests of customers in the moment. This means that the organizations can tailor programs, ads, and content to satisfy individual consumers. It also allows companies to engage with their customer in the moment to improve sales. I mean, right now we have Olympics. I mean, you can imagine the marketing teams of various companies that are using Olympics as a platform to promote their product. They're literally not sleeping. The advert can change as the event is progressing, and this is possible because of the digital marketing that is dynamic. So because everybody wants to maximize the opportunity, because they know so many people are tuned into the Olympics, and that's where the dynamism of the content goes together with the personalized ads, and then of course emails and personalized content. And of course product suggestions. So as you play in this space, and you are active in the digital marketing, if you don't refresh, they even go as far as say that Divesh, Marco, and Maynard and Rapula, that, and I know I'm also not good at this. You have to keep on changing your profile picture. Apparently, that it changes the traffic to your social media platform. How often do you change your profile picture of
Well,
your social media account?
if I can add my perspective to that, Sam,
Mm.
um, one of the aspects of changing the profile picture or making some changes to your profile itself is that it will send a notification to all your followers. So it's kind of a pull strategy.
The trigger.
Yes, so they can come in and look at what other new content you might have. Interestingly enough, when you change your profile picture, people are very interested to see what can they sense from your profile picture. What's in the background? Did you change your look? Did you change your glasses? Whatever the case may be. But the whole idea of being in a real time marketing sense for me, it's about engagement with your followers. You want to make sure that if they do uh, respond to a post that you have put onto the social media platforms, especially, or if it's an internet website, if they've put feedback, if you're allowed for some kind of bi-directional conversation, it's
Mm,
important that you respond to whatever they said, even if it's a case of a thumbs up, just to
yes.
acknowledge
Mm,
the feedback that you gave. So the real time has to be as if, whoever is is engaging with your advertisement, that you make them feel as if they're important enough to you, and you
mm.
will respond appropriately to each one of their feedbacks.
Indeed. I mean, it's amazing here. They're saying that there has to be a balance there, that you are engaging and you are changing things, but it big but gather against that you are real time turning into a spam when you overwhelm your listeners. Therefore, knowing the kind of listeners you that follow you, it's very important. And I don't know how you can do that, but for me, and I use you as an example, Divesh, and even Rapula, because I follow you a lot, and your action pops up. You're very highly engaged, but you are engaged in a way that edify whatever a person that you follow has posted, which is great, because you are responding to what somebody else has done, and you are edifying them. So we spoke about this last time, that real time means that don't post something and then disappear, because when you post something, you are igniting action, and you need to be available to see who's responding, so that if they are acknowledging, then you also then give them thumbs up, and you comment. Otherwise, you're going to lose very powerful follow up. And here they are saying, for instance, ways to engage with followers: provide expert information. People follow organizations that have value to them. Showing expertise lends more value to the information. So again, where we say that don't just sell, empower. The other ones, they offer promotions. Many companies offer special promotions to their followers. Followers will then share this information with friends. For instance, they will say, okay, register on our database, and for that, we give you a white paper on AI, or a research report on something. So there's always a reward to your people. I know, once again, we still have to improve on this. And I'm toying with the idea that people who are heavily engaged with COMESAmember.com, we maybe sometimes can offer them a 1 year free membership, or something like that. And then they say that be clear and consistent. This one is a challenge. And that's why, as Rapula was saying, some of us who are run one-man show business, it becomes very difficult, because we don't have dedicated marketing people constantly engaging on this. But companies that have got the staff dedicated to internet marketing, they make sure that they are constantly there communicating, you know, uh, uh, with the people that are responding. So consistency is very important. And then, of course, the converse with followers. That's the point we're raising. Communication should not be one-sided. Address feedback quickly and respectfully, and make information easy to share. That's one critical thing. If you have a website and you don't have share icons of Facebook, LinkedIn, you can be guaranteed that you're not going to have people helping you to spread your program and your show. And that's why it's almost standard that all websites have a sharing icon at the bottom. And they also have, if it's one business like let's say Rapula, you have a share icons, plus you have your social media account, that people can, you say, follow us on social media. Then they click there, they go to your social media account. And this is one of settings that you can do with your technology consultants. It's expensive at once, but the returns is very high, because once it's there forever. For instance, the moment we post the podcast, it goes to all podcast platforms, and yet it's just one transaction, and it's one time settings. You can test it. Once I say, okay, the podcast is live, you go to Apple Podcasts, you go to Amazon Music, you go to Spotify, you go to YouTube, it is there instantaneously. So it's not really expensive. It's just a setting up costs that you need to do. And I think many of us here, we've got Maynard here, we have got the Umpile, we have got the Moses on our side. They are experts on these things, and I don't think they'll be very expensive to help you do that. Am I overselling you, Maynard? If you can't do it, you probably know somebody who can help us, right?
Yes, no, it's always like that. That's we are always on the marketing space. So if there is something that I can't do on myself, definitely there is someone next to me that I can always outsource all the time. So it's like that. It's our space.
Yeah. Am I committing all of you colleagues to say that as the trainers, we need to commit to say that we are going to play in this space because that's where everybody goes? At least if we can't do it, the people we are training, we will point them somewhere so that they can become active. Because as Impilo was saying, everybody is moving there. Whether it's car companies, it's engineering, it's authors, it's teachers, everybody, even plumbers and bakers, they are having a site where they are selling on internet. Marco, is Tumaco venturing into the internet marketing space?
Yes, yeah. I want to declare that me and Maynard are talking. So he's
Well,
going to set
that's
us up
wonderful.
with the website, and I'm sure the rest will follow once we are online.
And who has interacted with our new platform and setting out their business directory? Am I pushing you too hard? Rapula, how far are you doing with putting Retlalefile business directory?
So, Sam, one of the things I think I put as much information as I could. There were a few things which, when you're busy uploading and downloading, uploading, and said, okay, this one I'll do it later on. I haven't put as much, but majority of the information which is required is being uploaded on a website, including my website also.
On the portal, and then you
On a portal.
redirecting members to your website.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And the other thing you just mentioned, Sam, Araut, and Divesh mentioned it, is an issue of the pictures. One thing which I've realized, because I used to post on a weekly basis about mentoring and coaching, whenever I don't put a picture, the impact is very minimal. Whenever I put a picture, the impact goes up.
Indeed.
Yes.
Just,
it seems to me you have something like the push readers who immediately when you start posting it, that looks like pushing to their system, they react on the spot.
Indeed.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking to the next point, Rapula. Sorry for interrupting. You're talking to the next point, which is, remember, we're coming from the point of view that we want to help people not just to stream, but to stream successfully and take streaming into a business, because streaming is a business, a big market. Now, that speaks the point you are raising, Rapula. We extend it to, it talks to brand management. A picture is a brand. So it could be your picture, it could be a picture of an event, it could be a picture of your product, it could be a picture taking it from the stock portfolio of pictures. But that picture, when you look at it without reading the text, it tells the story. And some people learn through pictures, some people learn through words, and some people learn through sound. So that is again understanding the behavior and the preferences of your market. And you, without doing research, by just being there constantly, exactly the point you are raising, you now know that post that you put without the picture attracted maybe 50 likes or 50 responses, and that picture that you posted, that post that you posted with a picture attracted 150 posts. That's already a feedback to you that picture tend to attract people's interests. So the combination of a picture together with the weights needs to be aligned. And I think talking to the current project you are working on with the Valley University of Technology, where they're requesting you to send an article, but also give you the opportunity to put an advert about your offering. That's the most powerful offer you don't always get. And therefore, if you take the opportunity like that, you need to make sure that whoever design a picture or a logo or a brand, it needs to be the best. It needs to be high pixels. It must be punchy, and it must be really communicating your branding, which goes beyond just a drawing and a logo. It's a logo and a color combination and the weights. And that's why logo, the brand of a company is all those things together. I'm glad thanks for bringing that up. Again, it's one of the things that sound very costly for you to go into a studio to take professional pictures or to buy a very expensive handset that takes powerful pictures, so that the pictures you take are of quality, because that's your brand, right?
Do you know when you said that, Sam, on Friday, we're doing facilitation for social labor plan a workshop for the community. And I was streaming online on both LinkedIn and also Facebook, but using the company which we are dealing with on the spot. Do you know the feedback I've received from the chairperson of the company the following day? She said to me, Rapula, you have mesmerized. I never thought this could be done. I said, what is what? She said, I never thought your pictures will be so pulling to the audience who are not even interested in what you're doing, but what you've put in our social website. Can I ask you? I'm going to pick up all the questions which were asked on the floor and start writing article about them and putting pictures on there. I said, I'll do it for you for free. But the next one, I'm going to charge you.
Indeed. Exactly. You excite the clients because you show them possibilities that they never thought exist. But once again, we are responsible for our own brands and the brands of our companies. But the brand starts with you, because you don't, even with companies, you don't post as a company. Somebody in the company posts, but that somebody has got an account on social media. Otherwise, they won't be able to post. So do you understand that the linkage between your own private account and the account of your company? So here I think the point I have here with me when it comes to brand management is that each organization must manage its brand carefully, because a brand is not simply a logo. It is what customers believe about an organization and its products. It is the company's image, which may be for quality, service, or unique merchandising. And it takes more than marketing to maintain a brand, right? Branding requires care at every stage of customer interaction, consistency, and distinctive qualities that set the company apart from its competitors. Once the brand is established, it must be maintained carefully. And I think I can talk to you historically. We have not always been just there. It took me a very long time for me to catch a wake up to realize that all these efforts that you are doing, having activities and events, they come to naught when the brand is not actually used as a carrier of these things. So that your brand together with activities are associated, and they see it holistically. Even this platform, the moment you use the word Comeza, the moment I talk Rapula, I see Richalifile, I see Diverge, I see whatever Diverge stands for. In this case, it's a mastery program, because it's one of our key carriers of this concept. So then they say that there are certain things, in this case, let's talk about the show. Pay attention to every communication you send around the show. Be courteous and be accessible. Once we are going to have a show tomorrow. we have made our best to make sure that it's promoted. We make sure that we are ready to make sure that the VUT brand is also brand in the form of the logo and the colors, but also the program itself. So we can't say we are just streaming and then just hoy things like, look, if you go into the streaming platforms like YouTube, you probably, because of its nature being a mass media platform, there's a lot of streams that are not really meeting this. But over time, people tend to grow where they emphasize on the quality of their brand. So, and I think that means that you need to determine your visual design, your messaging, and then, as we said, consistency and the uniqueness in the qualities of your offering. Let me stop here. I've been talking quite a lot. Let me allow each of you in the studio, and of course, you are welcome to also put something in the chat box to reflect on this. And also maybe the cover on the positioning statements you might do for a show, for instance. If you happen to be running a show as a product. Who wants to come in there? Umpila, I can see you've joined us in the studio now. Are you able to comment?
Yes, at the same good evening to the listeners, the colleagues. So for me, I would like to reflect more on, because like we said, digital marketing, if you don't practice it totally, in the future you'll be left behind, just like many other people have been left behind in the past because of not adapting to technology. But just on a show point of view, I see a lot of churches, even churches nowadays, they often try to accommodate, online, market, or maybe people, or their congregates. So they try by all means to try and move with times by ensuring that maybe their services are not only traditional, but what they do is, even political parties normally, that's what they normally do. And this ensures that they have a lot of maybe members or a lot of attendance, because they are more accessible, like most of the colleagues said. Once you are online digital, especially if you are offering a digital show, your aim is to be spread as much as you can. So these social medias and the digital marketing or internet marketing offers people who provide shows to kind of market themselves very well and reach a lot of people. And what the other important thing about digital marketing is that maybe if you use like YouTube, or you use Facebook, or even LinkedIn, you can actually see where your lead are, or like which region are you getting most leads, or who are the people actually listening to you. So using that data analytics taken from digital marketing can even help you understand where maybe you can move your business to. So digital marketing, actually, it's very interesting, and especially for shows, you can just through checking the data analytics, you can see maybe in Gauteng, Northwest, or even outside the country, who are people who are interested in your show. So yeah, it does add very, much value to business, especially with the data that you obtain from that.
Mm. Is this a subject of your master's studies that you're currently doing, Umpile? Is it one of the many? I mean, or not
Yes,
really?
it's one. Yes, it's one of the subject that I did under my undergrad, but I've not fully went in. But I'm just well aware of how it can have an impact, because even the previous company I used to work for, so I used to just I'm a person who likes engaging and just helping. So I would normally try to help even the marketing team. I've been hearing you talking about the brand, so always being consistent. Sometimes even a small thing of just maybe a logo not being at the right corner can have a negative impact on the customer, especially in the digital marketing space. So yeah, I have some practical and also it's included in my course to just get an understanding of how powerful this digital marketing is.
Mm, mm. And I guess for the streaming practitioners, mostly they come with dynamic movement kind of positioning of the brand. So what do you observe there? I'm just imagining if you are in the streaming industry, you can't have a static logo there. Let's say you are having a Netflix pro shows or movies, or you do a YouTube channels. Uh, the the branding, the brands are very dynamic and yet very consistent.
Yes.
Even on social media platform these days, you see people posting video type of branding, brand positioning. It's getting more dynamic.
Yes, because for me, I believe that's the reason behind is because, like we said, everyone is now, most of the companies are having a digital strategy. Most of our younger generation, even ourselves, we are almost always in the digital spaces with our laptops, phones. So to reach a lot of people with your brand, it's more easy to do most of the time, depending on your industry, especially in the online shows. It's more easily to do using internet marketing as opposed to doing it traditional. So I think that's why most of the brands are trying to, because once you are like, just like for example political parties, most of them, they were campaigning mostly, I believe, I don't know how much they put budget, but their budget might have been mostly on the internet marketing, because that's where majority of the people are at the every time, and always every time you wake up you go to your phone. So that's how they get the people.
Mm. Rabula, you wanted, thanks Umpile. Rabula, you wanted to comment there.
No, my comment is very simple, was to say what was more advantageous for me at a time of when I was doing articles on a weekly basis. Some stage within a space of 2 days, I could reach in excess of 1,500 viewers on that specific line article, and you could pick up on that scenario. I pick up about 4 or 5 businesses in South Africa, specifically on that type of marketing. And then the last one, which caught me by off guard, is when one of the universities in UK asked me to write an article about mentoring and coaching, especially from consultant perspective. It was very, very interesting for me. I said, "Oh, I never knew this would have so much impact." And even after my article, I got some emails from some of the researchers in the specific universities. I said, "Can we outline on this one? Can you do additional research on this one?" I said, "Yes, we can do that, provided you put funding on it." But that's what I'm saying. It's open at different opportunities. You think you're only dealing with mentor and coaches, only to find out it could be more than that in terms of mentor and coaching.
What for me is very important and interesting as a community and a social learning colleagues here is that it is not about being at the top end, but it's about consistently progressing towards becoming a constant player and achieving more on this platform. We did speak about the social media last time. I'm not going to waste time on this, but key pointers that we touched last time that are being repeated on internet marketing is that remember you are building a community to start with. And once you have built that community will support you depending on whether you give value to that community. It's almost like what Napoleon Hill calls a mastermind group. You have a group of people that relieve from your input, you live from their input, and they've got sympathy with you. They are sympathetic to what you do. And sometimes they support you not because you are the best, but just because you are part of them. And that is what we need to see social media as, not just as a place where you hoy things and you go in every now and then when you are bored. You are those people that follow you, they are your community. And they love it when you're doing something and they are doing something and you interact with them. You build a personal touch. That's another point. And then, of course, you build the brand champions from that community. Make it easy to share. And we said that if you generate and content, because the biggest beneficiaries of social media are the content generators. The social media is like the highway, and the content generators are like the people who drive the cars on the highway, and the quality of the car is different, and therefore pay attention to what you are posting. What content are you posting? What solutions are you offering, and what benefits you are giving? Otherwise, you are just because you are on the social media platform doesn't make a difference. And then, of course, blog and interact, or post and interact. Again, I still wish I could have a business ambassador that does things for me once I've posted them, because I still believe that we can do more and we could engage more with the content we are creating. But constant monitoring is very, very important. And that's why we have these smartphones. They are made for that. Of course, there's also caution there that you have to learn to take breaks. That's why some of these smartphones, they will talk to you and say, Sam, you deserve a break now, because of health issues, of course. We don't say sit on them nonstop, but in between, keep on checking. And then, of course, the next thing that I'm sure people like Umpile here will be expert on this, even Divesh, is this thing called search engine optimization. This is something that it determines the speed with which you access the market, the speed with which you are accessed. And there are things that you can do. I don't claim to be an expert there. My consultant on technology space does this for me, and I've seen massive, massive improvement in terms of the number of people that visit our website. Because the argument is, if you just post on social media and that post does not direct people to our website, you are basically working for LinkedIn and Facebook and all these social media platforms. The ones you posted that content, it's not yours. Therefore, that's why it's important that the content that gets displayed on the social media, it is first posted on your website, and from your website, it goes to a social media. When people click on LinkedIn, when they read it, they are not reading it on LinkedIn platform. They use LinkedIn to access it, but that link takes them to our website, and automatically the search engine optimizer pick up the statistics through your Google Analytics code. And then you are able to get the report from Google to say, Sam, this week you have done very well. 500 people visited your website. And when you start saying that, then you know that your website, Umpile, is closer to becoming an e-commerce platform, which you can actually monetize by embedding the payment gateways like Pay Fast and everything. You can literally now sell. You've created a cash cow market. Am I right? Umpile? Divesh?
Yes, indeed, Sam. I do agree with you. That's the mechanism that usually works. And one of the thing as well, I mean, we can't be experts in every area. And I do agree with your approach that to have your website optimization so that you get as much traffic to your website as possible, it's better to just use the experts.
Yeah.
Again, in order to find the right expert, you must also do your little bit of research as to who's effective and who's actually just going to take your money.
Yes.
Again, your website, your social media pages, you got to link them both so that one supports the other. And I fully agree with you that we must definitely try to own your content and own your customer base by moving them all towards your website and being able to capture all the data of those followers on your own platforms, not necessarily just on LinkedIn and Facebook, etc.
Yeah. And I, just to overemphasize that point, people make a mistake of saying, I don't need a website anymore because we have got social media. You are making a huge mistake. Actually, before you go into social media, you better make sure that your website is digitally and is social media user friendly. And that's where you promote your products, Rabula. And that's where people come and view. the portfolio of offering that you have. So next time when we invite you onto a platform, you're going to host a show, and then we do the promo. It is wonderful that you take that promo, you also then share it, post it on your website, because then you are also able to maximize that. It's really, these things are integrated. You have to own your content. And that's why also on the COMESAmember.com, the membership platform, we are encouraging you to actually build that business directory, but also from there, direct your people to your website so that your members can find you fully on that from that business directory. But coming to the diverse point, the reason why we want our members to have business directories to resolve this problem that you don't invite the criminals to come and design a website for you. Once you are our member and you find each other through this membership, you actually removed that risk away from you. I'm looking at time. We're almost there. Umpila, I don't know whether you wanted to comment there later on. Earlier on, we couldn't get your comment. I'm checking time. Are you wanting to comment there? Okay. I think he's not able to. We're almost at the end. Maybe the other things, we touched on the website characteristics. They talk about SEO optimization. And of course, the landing page is the first point of contact. Make sure that the landing page make people to want to page through your subcategories of your website. Again, we are not expert in this. We have people that in our network that can help. And then, as I mentioned earlier on, your website must be both compatible for desktop and the mobile. So the people call Mobi, make it Mobi compatible. And again, your website designer will be able to do that. It's no longer that expensive to get website done. Before, it used to be extremely expensive, but through a better search, you can find very good, even students of technology are actually welcoming the opportunity to do that. And many organizations use students to do that. And then, of course, the ultimate is once all these things are in place and you have a show going, the campaign is very important. And as I shared with you earlier on, we have been campaigning and promoting the show. We have the event module. Through that, we are able to actually invite people to come and be part of us. I'm going to stop there. We rushed through the material. I hope you find it helpful and insightful, listeners, and of course, colleagues. Let's reflect and check out. Margot, your standard checking out what was confirmed for you, aha moment, take home new insights, new behaviors and practices that you want to adopt as a result of this unit number 24, Contact 19, making your show going viral. Over to you, Marco, if you are still with us in terms of checking out.
Yes, I'm still with you. I have noted that much as the information we shared tonight is around the fundamentals of internet marketing to increase our streaming shows reach, I have noted that the dimensions that we have discussed tonight are applicable in the real business practices. For example, the new insight tonight was that I looked at the power of different media platforms to market a business in order to enable it to keep in touch with its followers or customers and to share possibilities to enhance the image of the company. And in terms of take home, of course, I'll use the dimensions that we shared tonight. For example, I'm in the process of developing a marketing strategy for my business. Obviously, dimensions such as SWOT analysis in marketing is also applicable in marketing in terms of the online show. It's also applicable to a normal company when it develops its own marketing strategy. So yeah, I will use the information I learned tonight to position my company to develop a website so that I'll be able to profile the company to market its product and share the feedback on the extent to which the customers receive satisfaction from my company's offering and provide feedback. Yeah, so that's what I'll be taking home from tonight's show. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, Marco. I really am looking forward to see the evolution of Tumaco into the next stage of internet presence in digitalization. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Next,
much, Brother.
hi, Divesh.
Yes, Sam. For me, just before I give my takeaway, I just wanted to add one thing which I think is critical. When we use any posts, especially when we are helping other advertisements or people we're following, we must have hashtags to promote. It's very powerful and they link directly into the analytics. So you've got to be punchy with your hashtag messaging so that we can really, escalate the type of impact that you want to have. My takeaway for me is with our online marketing campaigns that we develop, we must have consistency in our content, consistency in terms of the branding across the different types of media that we use, consistency in terms of monitoring, as well as in terms of feedback that we give to the followers and those that consuming our content that we are trying to market. And then, of course, in terms of our campaign, we got to make sure that our campaign is addressing the right audience, it's using the right words, and it's actually selling as because it's something that people will glance at, but it must be captivating enough so that they actually come to the event that you're actually trying to promote. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that advice on hashtag. And the further advice, I don't know whether it's you have the same understanding, Divesh, that don't do more than 5 hashtags. There's the standard that has been tested within LinkedIn, is one of their recommendation. Up to 5 hashtags, not more. I don't know whether you have any comment on that, Divesh, but that's the one advice I still remember.
Yes, no, I support that indeed. Normally, you'd want to try 2 or 3, not more than that. And of course, having some catchy slogan, and especially for something like Kometsa, you'd normally want to promote Kometsa as a hashtag so that you get more followers. And then the analytics engine actually recognizes Kometsa so that it's more effective in
Yeah.
terms of marketing.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm told for Google maximum reach, the title of your topic, of your post, should not be more than 33 characters. Literally, words. Not more than 33 characters. So because then they said once it goes beyond that, it's very difficult for Google to help it spread. I don't know where with advancement of AI, maybe that's no longer the case. Maybe I'm a little bit behind there. Anyway, I'm sure we'll come back to these nitty-gritties as we move on. And next one to check out, Rabula. Maynard.
All right. Thanks, Natisam. Maybe let me start on one of the topics that you and Divesh went through in terms of the hashtags and the other things. And I wanted to comment on the website part of it where we need to do the search engine optimizing. That one, it helps a lot when people are just like, maybe you can take your website with certain like characters, as you mentioned the characters as well. Like maybe like if somebody is searching for maybe printing or any embroidery or any other thing, then your company will also pop in on that particular person's search, and they will be able to see if you're within their reach and all those things. So it helps a lot when you do SEO on the websites. That one, it helps a lot as well. And my takeaway is actually, I think that was Rapula's comment that like when he posts the pictures, he gets more view or more reactions on that. I think it's because most of our clients, they opted to visualize things, so they're no longer into just listening and or reading. No, they want to visualize everything because of these new technologies of TikToks and everything. So they believe in visualizing everything. And I believe even ourselves, maybe most of our shows, we might sometimes, not even though we don't do it every day, but maybe sometimes we need to consider doing that commercial TV, what we used to do. So it's gonna help a lot in terms of nowadays clients, where they believe in visualizing other than just to listening to us on the studios on the background, but they will believe and follow us more if we interact with them visually. I think that will also help a lot. So that's my takeaway.
Indeed. Watch the space 2025, Menat.
Wow. No, that will be great.
Thank you. Thank you. Rapula?
My take is this: I need to go and review the search engine and find out what am I doing, what is not aligned, to make sure that I'm hitting the right barriers, to make sure that I increase the sales to maximum. That's my take for this evening. So to make sure that that aspect is being addressed and make sure that brings the maximum and the best out of the whole thing. That's my take on today.
Channel the audience to our website. Not work for the social media platform, giving them content, and then it posted is no longer yours.
Yes.
Beautiful. Umpile, are you able to check out?
Yes, that the same. Also, my take up was more on like the risks associated with internet marketing, and yeah, it was quite interesting to just find out that it's not only benefiting, but you need SWOT analysis to kind of understand what you want to achieve, your weakness, your strength, and also I think also the last part of search engine optimization, it's actually something that is very growing a lot now, especially in terms of how you make up your website so that it can be reached. So I think anyone who's like planning to do like a website must work more on their how you do the keywords, like Divesh mentioned. Even when you do your website in your back end, you need to also make sure that you have good keywords, you have meta tags that are correct. And also one thing that was reflective to me was that I think Africa and South Africa as a whole, they need to start looking into having their own social media, because most of the social medias that we are using owned by like South Africa or Africa at large. So it's very risky in the future for us to have a situation like that. That was just something out of my mind, just a reflection. Yeah, thank you for the informative.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Very good advice there. We need the creators to think how to localize some of these things, learn from this, and then conceptualize them. Thank you so much. For me, my take home is the one point, and that is understand these platforms, but please make use of experts. We have so many good experts in South Africa and anywhere in the world. Among ourselves, the key thing is use the concept of mastermind groups. That's my learning from Napoleon Hill book. Even Henry Ford apparently used that a lot. He was not he was the dropout out of high school, but look what he built in terms of Ford. And his argument is he didn't need to know everything, but he needed to know who knows what, so that he can access them and put them in their network. And when he needs professional help, he goes to those people. So yeah, thank you so much, colleagues. I want to whet your appetite with the next lineup up to unit number 30. You're really going to love this, and you can't afford to miss this one, listeners. The next unit 25, conduct 20, we're going to look at the guest criteria to our show. What is the criteria you use to get the right guest for your show? And that is based on, of course, interpersonal skills. We'll look more on that. And then unit number 26, conduct 21, we're looking at how you go about sourcing the guests. Where do you get your guests from? And how do you convince them to agree to become your host, your guest at your show? There we use the course personal proposal writing. And then unit number 27, conduct number 22, we look at identifying the subject matter experts. Before you can say somebody is your guest, what criteria do you use to determine whether he's an expert, truly speaking, in that topic? And then we look at the unit number 28, conduct 23. We are going to look at the reputation of the guest. How do you establish the reputation of your guest and how amicable it is to your brand? There we look at the program course personal branding. And then unit number 29, conduct 24, we're going to look at networking as a source. And there we look at the course networking outside the company. And then unit number 30, conduct number 25, we're going to look at aftercare, customer service. Once the guest has been to your show, how do you look after them and make them come back? Beautiful lineup indeed. And we're getting there, Divesh, closer to finishing our conducts and, of course, marching towards unit number 40. Very exciting. Thank you so much, colleagues. Thank you so much, listeners. Wonderful having you here. That was me, Sam Zima, together with my colleagues, Divesh Motilal, Marco Franz Ramutla, and Rabula Mulivani, Maynard Maisela, and Ompile Liebile. That was Commercial Radio Worldwide, the mind, the journey, the destiny. We apply our mind to the journey that takes us to our destiny. The show is based on the principle called the idea. We inform and entertain, develop and educate, empower and support, associate and network. That's the idea. Once again, as a reminder, join us tomorrow evening as we present the Valley University of Technology Student Academic Development Support and Work Integrated Learning Show. And the guest is the MD of Jet Civils, and joined by the students, Marcia, Tiso, and Tandeka. The host of that show will be Divesh Motilal, Rabula Mulivani, and Sylvia Mamorare. They are the anchors of the show tomorrow. Please join us. The event is put on a reminder. You will get that reminder. Don't miss it. Thank you, colleagues. You take care. Enjoy your evening. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Brasem. Goodbye, listeners.